the great Ezequiel Zamora, our general of the sovereign people. Long live Zamora. Zamora is our force, is our strength, our light, our truth, our inspiration. Zamora is the concept of the new federalism, the unity, the deepening unity of the popular and military powers. Zamora is maybe one of the pioneers, one of the socialist pioneers of the history of Venezuela. He had a great, we were very influenced by him, and he had a great influence of the European socialism, and he was deeply marked by the ideals of Bolivar. His father, Captain Alejandro Zamora, fought in the army of the Libertador Simón Bolivar. When he was born in 1817, Venezuela was amid the revolutionary hurricane, in the process of foundation of the Colombia, and in the process of establishing the new independent state, which was founded in Orinoco. There, in the edges of Orinoco, which allowed to found the great Republic of Republics, the Great Colombia, which is today Venezuela, Panama, and Colombia and Ecuador. It is a great nation. It was a great nation of republics. That was the concept of Liberator, to build up a great nation of republics, and he saw that the whole a great homeland for us, the homeland is the Americas. It was always like that for libertators. In his first declaration of 1811, they always have the concept of our great homeland, and so Bolivar had the responsibility to free the south of Venezuela, our Guyana, to declare the 8th star, and as of that, in 1817, he initiated his journey, who took him 200 years ago to the liberation of Americas with the Battle of Junín and Ayacucho. In that era, the child Ezequiel was born. His mother, Paula, the news is named after Paula, mother of our great general of the sovereign people of Zamora. And he took the ideas of equity, which was always in the struggles of the Venezuelan people. Ezequiel Zamora was a radical Democrat. He was a man who urged for the deepened freedom. He launched the 3 slogans of the revolutionary struggle that he and of the revolutionary war that he won, a kind of Emiliano Zapata in the 19th century of Venezuela. In Venezuela, he built a popular army, the second popular army of our history. The first one was built by Bolivar, who got from Junín to Ayacucho. The second one was created by Ezequiel Zamora, with the black people, with the indigenous, with the poor, with the white poor, with the farmers deprived of their lands, with the ordinary people. Who this army defeated the professional army of the oligarchy, of those powerful last names. They were just knocked out in front of the army of our grandparents, the great army of Ezequiel Zamora. That's why in that era the tradition was imposed. A bullet killed him in 1860, but his example cut across, and history, they said that history is written by the winners. Do you know about that? The history is written by the winners. And by that time, treason triumphed. The oligarchy of last names was allied to weakened sectors who were at the Federal Revolution of Zamora. So they nurture conspiracy and ego and ambition of 2 or 3 surrounded by Zamora, and they participated in his assassination on January 10th, 1860 in San Carlos. There it is its legend, his spirit. So treason was over the history, and so traitors presented Zamora as a delinquent, as a criminal, and the same they did with Emiliano Zapata, Pancho. In the history of each of our countries, present as criminals the revolutionary people, the ones who seek justice, the ones who seek equity, those who represent the poor people, as Eva Perón said, those who represent men and women on the streets. They call it as terrorists, as criminals. But history was a legend among the peoples. Was disseminated orally, people by people, and it was rescued by outstanding historians as Brito Figueroa in his work Ezequiel Zamora. And history arrived at the hearing of kind people, of generations by generations, till it occurred what it had to occur, that because the the name and the original project of Ezequiel Zamora was reborn with the arrival of our commander Hugo Chavez as an irreversible leader of a revolution projected for the 21st century, that on February 4, in the 90s, with his slogans, "Long live freedom." 3 slogans they launched: popular elections, terror to oligarchy, lands and free men. Today it is land, women and men, and free women and men. We have here some caps. This cap I was given by the delegation of Brazil. It is beautiful, isn't it? Because we are followers of Zamora, Vladimir Padrino Lopez, and as Zamora followers, we received the movement without lands of Brazil, because saying movement without lands is like saying Ezequiel Zamora. I am going to put it here to preside this great meeting, this paramount meeting in this room. So beautiful, so breathtaking. The Palacio Blanco, Miraflores, in which we have a happy day, a breathtaking day, because we carried out the second national consultation for deciding the projects of communal circuits. A day of intense work, of participation, of popular decision. We can believe that things fall from the sky. From the sky fall rainfalls, but also blessings. We as Christians asked for blessings from heaven, and so they arrived many blessings from. So we only have to pray and ask with faith, with pure heart, for continuing arriving blessings in Venezuela, and we will continue triumphing over the evil, over the demons, over the demonizing oligarchy. It is a spiritual struggle, of course, and we are winning. In the spiritual plan, we are just winning over those demonizing surnames, oligarchy. But the social processes of organizations and empowerment, they last they have to last for years. It is a fair and right idea to build up a new democracy. Time is needed for its implementation, for its explanation for its development, all, if it is always new, if it tries to disrupt from that democracy of elites, of those fake and liar democracies, it is always going to be a rehearsal. Some say that it may be a mistake, but we rather say that it is a rehearsal and learning, because in each rehearsal turns out to be a learning, since our dear commander Hugo Rafael Chavez Frias the proposal based on the grounds of Constitution, on the grounds of the concept of building up a state, a social state, a democratic state of rights and justice, building up a new democracy, a new participatory and protagonist democracy, taking into account lawyers, Madam Vice President Delcy Rodriguez for consultation, Dr. Celia Flores, who is also a lawyer. It is a mandate of Constitution that the Venezuelan state, that the national state has to be a state of rights, of justice. Not only it has to be in the old proclamation of a state of rights, of popular state, it has to be a state of justice in the broader sense of justice, of social justice, of economic justice, political justice, and it has to be a democratic state, a democratic and social state with a new concept of participatory democracy and protagonist democracy. The first time I read the concept of participatory and protagonist democracy was here on this book, on this blue book, written by our commander Hugo Chavez Frias in 1990. We have already talked about this affair. We have to search, to multiply Diosdado, to multiply this book by thousands. By thousands, this material. I am very pleased about of this book, because we have to. I liked a lot of the printed book. We have to come back to the printing. New generations read by cell phones, but there are studies that it is not the same attention. It is not the same learning of the material content from of a book read. If we read it with our hands, that if we read it on the cell phones or on a laptop, it's not the same. So let's prioritize the printing of this book, and the Partner del Prado, Minister of the Popular Power of the Communes. We have to share, we have to deliver. It is kindest to say deliver. We have to deliver, to hand over 2 million or 3 million books in the Bolivarian armed forces. Each soldier from the Bolivarian armed forces must receive the book blue printed. The whole people must receive the blue book. But so if you wonder, brothers and sisters of Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Cuba, Uruguay, El Salvador, the United States of America, Africa, if you ask me, where can we find the first expression, the first grassroots of the Bolivarian project of the 21st century? Here it is. It was written by Chavez in 1990, and it is entitled The Blue Book. And I've been always impressed because when it arrived at my hands in 1992, a wrinkled sheet of paper, we just printed it. We just managed to have several, all photocopies. How can we call it today? Just copies? Or you scan it? Well, there you grab here and you take a picture. I'm going to send you a photo of something, and so you take a picture, and that's it. The world changed a lot, but if we could just have 2-3 million of printed books, I think it is not that hard. Let's take this goal, and for you to see where is the participatory democracy concept, where is the concept that sovereignty lies in the people. Who wrote it? Who wrote that concept? Chavez or the oligarchies? Who wrote it? The revolution or fascism? When we constituents of 1999 swimming, going against all odds, and we achieved to manage to write this constitution, the Article 5, from the hands of Chavez, from the people. The oligarchies were against this constitution, the same ones that today, as the evil, intend to manipulate once again the constitution. They urge people to vote against these seven marvels of humanity, our constitution. They came out to discredit it, and they just commenced their terror campaign against Article 5, against communism. And so Chavez, Article 5, the one who enacts it, who vindicates the Article 5, is Chavistas automatically, because the Article 5 is the essence of our path of Chavez's legacy. So it says sovereignty lies in lies in the people, those who exercise it in the constitution and in the laws directly from the communes, from the popular powers. So it is so the oligarch people just were frightened by this, and so that's who tried to destroy this girl, this constitution, before being born from the womb of her mother, who to destroy this constitution. Those fascists who were the far right of that time, who then turned into fascism. They couldn't destroy it. She was born on December 15, 1999. Who tried to kidnap it and assassinate it? Who? The old decrepit man of Pedro Carmona, who is a criminal, a murderer, who break down the constitution and powers, and he tried to eliminate Bolivar with our Bolivarian character, and who tried to manipulate to attend coup d'etats, and they spoke about the 350. Do you remember? Is it 350, right? Well, let here the ones who want democratic social democracy and are the ones who matter. So it is a process of rebirth of the idea of implementing the proposal, and so Venezuela is mature enough for us to do what we are doing, to build up the new democratic state, but talking about direct democracy. So what happened on Sunday, the second consultation, shows that we are on the right track. We are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of history. My comrades. So marvelous